What's up, guys? Swift here covering everything Chicago Bears. So, something had kind of slipped my mind, but looking back, it was something that you guys requested weekly grades. I do the all 22s, but I haven't gotten to the weekly grades. I will be giving them out over the final 3 weeks of the season. This week, since I have a lot coming, I'll be talking about the snap counts on offense and defense, and then assigning letter grades for each position group. Let's get right into it. On offense, Braxton Jones played every snap and continues looking like he may be the answer at left tackle going forward. The rest of the line was in shambles. Riley Reef played the whole game at right tackle. Same with Mustipher at center. Alex Leatherwood only got one snap on a goal line set. At guard, though, Dieter Iceland played 28 snaps. I will be breaking that down tomorrow on all 22 film. Velus Jones Jr. and N'Keal Harry got about the same amount of snaps, 29 for Velus, 28 for N'Keal. Harry didn't get a single target, while Velus had his best game as a pro. I'll give out grades on offense for quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, and offensive line. At quarterback play, I'm giving it a C plus in this one. Nothing special here. Justin Fields had a decent game through the air. He was 15 for 23, 119 yards, one touchdown, no interceptions. Nathan Peterman was 3 for 5 with an interception, but I don't really care much about Peterman. The grade is more on Justin Fields. The Bills did an excellent job taking away his rushing ability and had Justin Fields under constant pressure the entire game. He did a great job only taking 2 sacks, but he did have 3 balls batted down at the line. He did a good job of avoiding pressure and getting rid of the ball, but he wasn't able to make magic happen in this one. The running back room also struggled a bit. David Montgomery played tough, but outside of his 28-yard run, he had 15 carries for 34 yards, just over 2 yards a carry. Meanwhile, Khalil Herbert was around 1 yard a carry with 6 carries for 7 yards, and he failed to make any impact at all. Monty did play really tough and added 4 catches for 22 yards, but overall, the Bills completely shut down our run game. I'm giving the running backs a D plus for this game, but the offensive line has to take some of the blame as well. Next up, though, is the wide receiver group. They were severely undermanned again as Chase Claypool, Darnell Mooney, and EQ all missed this game. Byron Pringle led the receivers in snaps, but he failed to do much, catching both of his targets for 34 yards. Cole Kmet led the team in targets, but his longest catch only went for 7 yards, and he finished with 5 catches for 27 total yards. Dante Pettis had the most targets at receiver and caught a 6-yard touchdown pass, but he had a crucial drop on third down and finished with only 2 catches for 11 yards and a touchdown on 5 targets. Velus Jones Jr. was maybe the lone bright spot. He had 4 targets and led the entire game in receiving yards. He had 2 catches for 52 yards and provided a spark to the offense. Overall, the passing options didn't do a lot in this game. The weather and conditions did play a bigger part for receivers, though, but I'm still giving this group a D. We need more impact plays like the one play that Velus Jones Jr. brought. Moving on to the offensive line, they were a mess. Justin Fields did an incredible job of only getting sacked twice, but the line failed to pass protect or open any holes in the run game. Braxton Jones did get beat once or twice, but overall continued his solid play. The rest of the line was just a mess, though. I'll be breaking down Dieter's play on the All 22, but the overall grade for the offensive line in this one was an F. We really missed Tevin Jenkins and Cody Whitehair. They got dominated by the Bills' front 7 and quite simply have to play better against Detroit this weekend. Moving on to the defense, the most interesting thing on the snap count was Dominique Robinson only getting 33 snaps. He's fallen behind Trevis Gibson and Al-Quadin Muhammad. I think it's possible that D-Rob is worn down a bit. He's still new to defensive end, still very raw, and has played a ton of snaps this year. I'm still very high on his potential. He did get at least one pressure in this game. Trevis Gibson also had a couple of pressures and has played a little bit better over the last few weeks. But the bottom line on the defensive line is they were simply unable to stop the run at all. The Bills' offensive line dominated our front four worse than their D-line did to our offensive line. Overall grade for the defensive line was an F. They did not play well, and it remains very evident that this team needs more talent in the front seven. The linebackers also struggled, both at stopping the run and in pass coverage. Nicholas Morrow has quietly been a solid player all season, and he came away with a big interception in this one. Also, Matt Adams had a big peanut punch forced fumble. It just wasn't enough to save the day, but those 2 turnovers from the linebackers were very nice to see. I give the linebackers a C+ for this one. Our secondary, however, was fantastic, holding Stephon Diggs in check and forcing Josh Allen to throw 2 interceptions. Kyler Gordon was awesome. Jaquan Brisker wasn't perfect, but he also played very well. Jalen Jones had probably his best game as a pro, and Josh Blackwell filled in admirably at the nickel spot. Elijah Hicks had only 7 snaps, but he came up with a fumble recovery. He continues to bring a ton of energy. I give our secondary an A+ in this one. Playing without Eddie Jackson, Jalen Johnson, or Kendall Vildor, and the team didn't generate much pass rush against possibly the best passing attack in the league, and they held the Bills' passing offense in check. I came away overly impressed with how our young secondary played in this one. I'll be digging in deeper with the All-22 for our secondary in the next couple of days. Stay tuned for that one. Overall, it was a very sluggish game to watch. Not a ton of positives, but we did have Justin Fields' growth, Velus Jones Jr. best game of the year, Dieter getting some reps on offense, and the secondary overall were our bright spots for this one. Our offense has it much easier these next 2 weeks as we take on the Detroit Lions and then finish the season against the Minnesota Vikings. 2 defenses that are probably worse than ours right now. Expect a lot of fireworks over these last 2 games. It gives us something to look forward to, as Justin Fields and this entire offense are going to have quite an opportunity to get things rolling over the next 2 games and get some momentum heading into the offseason. I don't really care if we win or lose either game. I do have my eyes on that number 2 pick. I will be rooting for us to win, though. But if we do lose and end up with a number 2 or even number 1 pick, I will be ecstatic. But what I want to see is this offense put up some big plays. Hopefully we get to see Chase Claypool involved, maybe some more Velus Jones and N'Keal Harry as well. But I really want to see this offense take off against these 2 terrible defenses. Stay tuned. I'll have you guys covered every step of the way. Remember to hit that like button. And until next time, bear down.